At our Metropole TVKE across all your social media platforms. My name is Simba Elijah Charles. Can I get this is your official secretaries this morning. Happy to have you on board. Kenya has made remarkable progress in the last decade in the expansion of financial access. Now, from fintech solutions that have played a key role in boosting businesses, especially MSMEs across the country, all these interventions have helped improve and propagate SMEs across or access to finance and innovative solutions. Today, we will delve into the evolution of financial services and how that is driving the SME sector in the country. Now, joining us to shed more light on the topic is Mahkor Solanki, an Mpesa Operations Officer, Safaricom Limited Financial Services. Solanki, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Happy to have you around. Did I get your first name right?
Yeah, my name is Mahkor Solanki from the
Solanki.
Financial Services team.
Fantastic. Happy to have you around. Let's start generally now, especially when you look at the digital financial services in the country. Would you say that we are at the level where we need to be in respect to small, medium enterprises in the country, or it's when we are starting out the journey?
All right, thank you for your question. So what I would like to mention is, first, it's important for people to understand what digital financial services are.
Yes.
So the digital financial services basically involves a broad of services that are across payments. Then we have loans and savings, and also insurance.
Yes.
So where we are is in the country, we are revolutionizing in terms of the payment, and we've seen a lot of fintech getting into that space in terms of growth within the financial services.
Yes.
For example, like within Safaricom, we have really gotten to understand the small, medium enterprises and also the micro, small, medium enterprises in terms of what they require for a stable platform, and also in terms of how they can manage the business in terms of transactions, and for them having the ease and convenience to access the services.
Yes.
Recently, we have launched the Pochi la Biashara, which is basically a service for the micro, small, medium enterprises. And the micro, small, medium enterprises, including the mama bogas, the boda drivers, the tuk-tuk drivers, where they can be able to use the same mobile number to receive their personal funds and business funds.
Yes.
If you look at the state within the country, most micro, small, medium enterprises have a challenge in terms of how they can manage their finances, and even monitoring in terms of how they can be able to grow. So having introduced Pochi la Biashara, this enables that micro, small, medium enterprise to be able to collect funds in a separate business account, which is on the same mobile number.
Yes.
So they're able to monitor in terms of the funds that they have received from their customers, and we've opened up transactions where they can also be able to make purchases using the same funds that are in that Pochi la Biashara.
Yes.
And most important to note is after creating the awareness, it's important for these micro, small, medium enterprises to be able to know how to opt in or to join these services. So if there's anyone who is watching this, if you are a mama mboga, if you are a boda driver, if you have that small, micro, small, medium enterprise, if you want to opt in, you use your mobile number where you dial the *334#. Then you go to option number 8 for Pochi la Biashara. Then you join the service where you accept the terms and conditions, and then you opt in onto the service.
Yes.
Once you opt in onto the service, you'll use the same mobile number to receive your personal funds and also receive your business funds.
Yes. So for anyone who's listening to you, it's the same number that then enables somebody to receive personal funds and business funds. How do you create the distinction? Like, this is business funds and then this is personal funds within the same number?
Yes, okay. Once business, that micro business enterprise opts in onto the service, when they dial the *334#, go to option number 8, Pochi la Biashara, accept terms and conditions, they'll have opened a separate business wallet on the same mobile number.
On the same mobile number.
Yes.
Yes.
And the way to separate the personal funds and business funds, this is, they will have to guide the customers to make payments to their Pochi la Biashara. And there are 3 ways in which customers can be able to make payments to that Pochi la Biashara. So first, a customer can dial *334#, go to Pochi la Biashara, select send to Pochi, and then the money will be sent directly to that Pochi la Biashara. The second way in which the customer can make a payment is they go to the SIM toolkit, then they select Mpesa, Lipa na Mpesa, then Pochi la Biashara, then they will enter the mobile number of this small trader, then enter the Mpesa PIN, submit the request, and then the money will go to this Pochi la Biashara. The third option is where on the new Mpesa app, when they go to the option of pay, there is the option for Pochi la Biashara. So they will key in the mobile number for this micro, small, medium enterprise. Then they enter the amount they need to pay, and then key in the Mpesa PIN and then submit the request. For example, if you have used a Boda Boda services and this Boda Boda operator has a Pochi la Biashara, as a customer, you will be required to go to Lipa na Mpesa, that is on either the SIM toolkit or on the Mpesa app. Then you make a payment, you select Lipa na Mpesa, pay to Pochi la Biashara, enter the mobile number of that Boda Boda operator, enter the amount, Mpesa PIN, submit the request, and then the money will go to that Pochi la Biashara.
Yes.
One of the things to be able to note is what are the advantages for using the Pochi la Biashara. Number one, for this micro, small, medium enterprise, there are no reversals. The challenge that has been there is you'll find somebody sends money and then from there they request for a reversal. Yes. So this is a business account. So when funds get into that Pochi la Biashara, the customer cannot reverse. Number two, the business will be able to monitor in terms of how they have been performing, because they can do day-to-day analysis, they can do week-on-week analysis in terms of how the business has been performing. Number three, they can use the same business account to monitor money in and money out. We have opened other transaction services on this Pochi la Biashara. So when this Pochi la Biashara micro merchant does the *334#, goes to Pochi la Biashara, there are different services that they can be able to do. If it is a Boda Boda operator and they have gone to fuel their Boda Boda, they can use the funds that are in the Pochi la Biashara. So there's the Lipa na Mpesa option under Pochi la Biashara, where they can pay for their fuel. If they have any bills that they need to pay, they can use that pay bill option to be able to pay for bills. And with that, they can be able to monitor the money that is coming in and money that is coming out from the same account. The other one is most of these small, micro, small, medium enterprise, they require credit facilities. So most of the time when they visit financial institutions, they might be requested to provide records of how they have been performing in the business.
And that's really important, isn't it? So you're saying that under Pochi la Biashara, then you have your credit history, that is the money that's coming in and the money that is going out. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So it has money in and money that is going out,
which becomes your credit history, isn't it?
Correct. That becomes the credit history.
Yes.
So when a financial institution requests you to share with them the records so that they can be able to do a credit scoring in terms of the funds that they need to give you as a business, then you can now give them that Pochi la Biashara statement. Then from there they can do the analysis and give you the loan. We've also tried to diversify, because when you look at the micro, small, medium enterprises, they require diversification in terms of the services that they offer.
Yes.
So we have added the option for sell airtime. So they can be able to sell airtime and earn 5% commission. So that is also a way of also boosting the micro, small, medium enterprises within the country.
You're just selling airtime from the funds that you have in your account, or you just got to do something different for you to start selling airtime?
So for selling of airtime, that is on the menu for Pochi la Biashara. So the funds that they have received from the customer, they can use that as funds to now sell airtime and earn 5% commission. For example, if they dial the menu, *334#, this is for the Pochi merchant, go to Pochi la Biashara, then they'll select the option for sell airtime. Then they will key in the mobile number of the customer who wants to buy the airtime. Then they key in the amount, and after they submit the request, then the customer's account will be topped up with airtime. And immediately the Pochi merchant will be able to earn 5% commission. For example, if they sell airtime of 100 shillings, they get 5 shillings. And you know that is an additional source of income for this Pochi merchant.
Yes, and that goes again into your credit history, isn't it? Like today I made 500 shillings or 5 shillings once I did my business as well.
Correct.
Fantastic. So now, from what you said in this morning, I mean, when you look at this new innovation under Safaricom Pochi la Biashara, it looks fantastic. But when you look at it, can you talk to me about the adoption so far? How has it been?
Right now, we have over 1 million Pochi merchants that have already opted onto the service.
Yes.
What we're encouraging customers to do is to make payments so that we can be able to also ensure that we empower and we ensure that these businesses are able to monitor the finances that have gotten into that Pochi la Biashara.
Yes.
So in terms of the adoption rate, we have over 1 million micro merchants that have opted in onto the service.
And would you say that is a success since the service was brought up?
Yes, that is a success since the service was brought up.
Yes.
But you're looking for more in terms of ensuring that we have more micro, small, medium enterprises getting in onto the service, so that they can experience that convenience.
I see.
They can experience that ease in terms of being able to monitor how their business has been performing.
Yes.
And maybe also to touch on all this, apart from the Pochi la Biashara.
Yes. Just before you, I'm sorry to interject you there, just before you move on to the next one as well, there's something that you mentioned, that you at Safaricom, you've identified, you've understood the needs of MSMEs and SMEs as well. Just on a touch goal, what would you say are the most basic needs when it comes to financial services? What are they? What do these small businesses need, which you're trying to answer through Pochi la Biashara?
Number one is a stable platform.
I see.
A platform where they can be able to monitor in terms of the funds that are getting into the business.
Yes.
Number two, we want to expand. The other one is in terms of the customer journey. Because when you look at businesses, they want a platform that is easy for them to use. So in terms of the Pochi la Biashara, it can be accessed from the phone. So quickly dialing in terms of the customer journey, where the Pochi merchant is able to opt in without any documentation, simple sign-up process for opting in onto that Pochi la Biashara.
Yes, and you're able to prove that I actually have a business just because somebody paid through this service, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So with this one, it's open. In terms of Pochi la Biashara, it's open where if it's a micro, small, medium enterprise, they just need to opt in onto that Pochi la Biashara.
Yes.
So what they need to do just to ensure that they have gotten the journey well, the simple onboarding process is they need to dial *334# on their mobile number, select Pochi la Biashara, select accept the terms and conditions. After they select join, accept the terms and conditions, and then from there they will have opted in onto that Pochi la Biashara. That is the first thing in terms of simplicity of accessing the financial services for this micro, small, medium enterprise. The second one is having that stable platform where they can use the same platform to access other services. So where we've provided, apart from receiving the payments from customers, they can also use the same Pochi la Biashara to make payments to their distributors or even to make payments for other services. For example, the example that I gave you for the boda operator, if they go to a fuel station, they can be able to use the same funds that are in that Pochi la Biashara to pay for fuel. If they go for car wash, they can use the same funds to be able to pay for the car wash. If they have bills to pay, for example, if they are paying for insurance, they can be able to use that option for Pochi la Biashara to pay for this insurance. And the way they do it is they dial the *334#, go to Pochi la Biashara, then they select Lipa na Mpesa, then we have the pay bill option, then we also have the buy goods option and send money. So for example, if somebody helps them, because there are some people who are courier services, they could have people lifting some packages for them on their motorbike. So they will also use that. If they don't have any other option, they can send money to their mobile number.
Yes.
And also diversification of services is what also the micro, small, medium enterprises are looking into. So where we've also diversified an additional way of getting income where they can sell airtime to earn that 5% commission. And I know the other major thing is in terms of loans. So we are looking into also providing those services for the Pochi merchant.
Yes.
So that is still in the pipeline in terms of providing the loan services to the micro merchant.
And that's quite critical, isn't really for the operation of these smaller businesses as well. When do we expect that service is going to come into the pipeline as well?
So with that one, once we've already rolled out the service, then we'll be able to communicate.
Yes.
We'll be able to communicate to the micro, small, medium enterprises because we use different channels in terms of explaining and giving them information of all the innovations that we've done to them.
Pretty much.
When you look at also the Pochi la Biashara, when they dial the *334#, they go to Pochi la Biashara, we have additional services that we've provided. So it's still on the pipeline where they'll be able to see Haba. So here we are trying to do partnerships with associations where we'll be able to provide a package for this, mostly now we've started with the transport industry, where we'll provide a package that has insurance and then also has Malipo Yuzeni and NHIF. So that we can ensure that within this informal sector, they're also covered when it comes to insurance, when it comes to wealth management, that is after the work, they can also be able to get, after retirement, they can also be able to get a package. So that is still in the pipeline. The menu is there on the USSD, yes, but it's still in the pipeline in terms of where we are working on partnership with the association, yes, and also partnership with the NHIF, NSSF, and also one of the insurance companies, so that you can provide that package.
Pretty much. So let's move on to the next one, because I do know there's also the Pesa Business App, so which pretty much works the same way as somebody would use USSD as well. So who are you targeting on the Pesa Business App?
So we have this other segment for the SMEs,
yes,
the small medium enterprises. So what we've provided for them, transacting till. This means that once they pick up the service for buy goods, where they're able to collect the funds that customers have made payments to,
yes, then
at the end of the day, with the funds that they have collected, they can also be able to do more. They can be able to transact using those funds that are in that business wallet. So what is happening is there are two ways that they can be able to, a small medium enterprise can be able to access their funds. For example, if it's a butchery, if we have given them the buy goods, there are customers that are making payments when they buy meat from that particular butchery. Once this butcher owner receives the funds on that business till, what happens is they're able to dial the USSD for the transacting till, is the *234#.
Yes.
Then they select option number 2 for Mpesa Business Till. And then from there now we have different features where they can, number one, they can either withdraw those funds. Should they require funds from an Mpesa agent, they can withdraw the funds from an Mpesa agent. Number 2, if this meat supplier is paying for the electricity bills or rent for their premise, they can be able to use the Lipa na Mpesa and pay bill option to make the payment.
Yes.
Number 3, if they are paying for the supplies, somebody has already done the supplies for meat, they can be able now to pay using the buy goods option. Then the access channels, they can either access via the USSD, where they dial the *234#, then they select option number 2. But the first thing, before even we reach in terms of the access, they must be able to acquire the buy goods product. So once they acquire the buy goods product, they can either be able to sign up, they can either visit our retail centers, we have our salespeople, and also we have a self-onboarding portal where they can log in for Mpesa Business Till, and then they can be able to upload the documentation depending on the business type. Then once we've already signed them up for the service, the way they can access is either via the USSD, *234#, select option number 2 for Mpesa Business Till,
yes,
or the other option is where they can all use the Mpesa Business App. So if someone, if we have anyone using the transacting till and they don't have the business app, they can either go to the Play Store or the App Store, where they will download Mpesa for Business. So once they download the Mpesa for Business, if you have more than one business, there's good experience, because you can be able, on the same app, you can be able to switch the experience in terms of using the same app to be able to manage 2 or 3 businesses or 4 businesses. Then the other one is where you can be able to export statements.
Yes.
Remember, it's key for the business to be able to know how they are performing in terms of money in and money out. So they can be able to export the statements from the Mpesa Business App.
Yes.
And they can also be able to monitor in terms of seeing the analysis, in terms of how money is coming in and how money is coming out.
Pretty much going out,
yes,
isn't it? All right. Now, interesting conversations really we're having this morning, and this is a direct question that I want to ask you from one of our viewers who knew that exactly this conversation was going to happen this morning. They're asking, when it comes to the transport sector, it looks like a potent area for this financial services inclusion to actually move to that direction. A keen observer who said, even during the coronavirus pandemic, it looks as if in the transport sector it did not really penetrate. I'm talking about this till numbers and Mpesa payments numbers in the transport sector. Did you face a challenge really trying to push this service to the transport sector in the country?
I know during this time for COVID, yes, we've had a lot of people from the transport sector, yes, adopting our financial services.
Yes.
And number one, I know when you talk about the Mpesa Business Till, we have some of the organized groups, like transport, for example, like buses that are managed by associations.
Yes.
Those ones can be able to quickly adopt the Mpesa buy goods till, and also the pay bill.
Yes.
But now what you're trying to do is with the other individuals within the transport sector, the matatus, tuk-tuks, boda-bodas, we've seen a lot of adoption of the Pochi la Biashara. So one of the things that also has been a challenge is lack of awareness. people do not, or even businesses might not adopt a product because they are not aware whether there's a product that exists for them.
Yes.
And some of them, because they don't know how to opt in onto the product or how to use it, that is the one that might make them fear the use of a product. But right now we are doing a lot of communication, also engaging the people in the different transport sector, that is the bodabodas, tuk-tuks, matatus, by going to where they are and talking to them about the Pochi la Biashara, ensuring that they have signed up on the product by dialing *334#,
yes,
selecting option number 8, Pochi la Biashara. Then they join Pochi la Biashara, accept the terms and conditions, and then they will have created a business wallet. So that awareness has seen a lot of adoption within the transport sector.
Pretty much. All right, now let's clear this conversation like this in 2 minutes. You've seen exactly what it takes for financial inclusion and for the penetration of financial digital services in the country. What would you say, as we clear in just 2 minutes, stands as the biggest challenge for us achieving this? Because when we're talking about mobile penetration, you do know we are very good on those numbers. What stands as the biggest challenge in the country for financial services inclusion?
Number one is in terms of awareness, because that is one of the challenges.
Yes.
When people are not aware of the services that are available to them, then they'll not be able to pick up the service. But once we create that awareness, when we tell these SMEs, when we tell these micro, small, medium enterprises, we have this product for you. We have Pochi la Biashara from the micro, small, medium enterprises. We have the buy goods till and the transacting till,
yes,
for these SMEs, then they'll be able to quickly pick up. The other one is for them to be able to know on the other end, once they have picked up this service, is creating awareness for the customers to be able to know how to make the payments to them. Once the customers know how to make payments directly to this account, then you'll see also quite an adoption on this. The other one is expansion, yes, in terms of credit facility. Because, you know, small, medium enterprises and also micro, small, medium enterprises are faced with the challenge of additional capital. So once you're able to provide this, then we'll be able to see a growth in that particular sector. The other one is also in terms of advisory, which we're also working on, where they require a lot of information in terms of how the business is performing. When you look at the SME, when they download the Pesa Business App, it's quite informative in terms of the money that is coming in into their business, money that is coming out, and they can do the analysis. So once these businesses get the information where they can be able to check from the statement, either the Pochi merchant or the SME, then they'll be able to monitor how their business is performing. So those are some of the things that you also need to ensure that you penetrate. And we've done, we have tried engaging 2 sessions, yes, where on social media, where we talk to small, medium enterprises and micro, small, medium enterprise, where we're also trying to find out what are some of the challenges and also trying to advise them in terms of financial management. We've done that with Centonomy once on social media, and we are planning for more sessions. The other one that you normally do is in terms of the challenges, you cannot know unless you engage.
That's true.
So we also looking for forums where we are talking to the merchants and also doing one-on-one engagement. Because you know, when you put the customer at the heart, then you'll be able to understand what are their needs, is your service working, and what are the things that you need to do to improve. And that's why you see first with the access channels, we've tried to diversify so that if you want to access via USSD, you can be able to access via USSD. If it's via the app, you can be able to access the app, and also enhancing the features on the same.
Pretty much. Oof, interesting conversation this morning. Take her online from the time that she joined us into the studio this morning at Metropole TVKE across all your social media platforms. Solanki, thank you very much for joining us this morning on a Business App.
Thank you too.
Fantastic. And that's exactly where we ended this morning. But once we come from the break, IEBC failed to meet its targets for voter registration. The 4.5 million they were targeting, they only got 862,000. But then a High Court ruling said, continue. But then they said, there is no money. What is really going on? Is it that the youth in this country do not want to register to vote? Let's understand those numbers once we do come back here on a Metropole Television. Good morning.